I'll just come right out and say it. I completely disagree with the result of Screw Attack's death battle. Not only do I think Sasuke would have won, I think he would have done so with ease. The major reason why they said Hiei would win was because he scales to the explosion Yusuke and Yomi created in their clash, and I agree that he does. However, they wanked the hell out of that feat. I'll bring up the first complaint I have with how they calculated the feat. They tried to use the curvature of the planet to calculate how tall the blast was. In anime, sometimes the curvature of the planet isn't always too accurate. So while it can be considered when looking at a feat, it definitely shouldn't be the main thing you look for. For example, in the scene from Dragon Ball Z, you can clearly see the curvature of the planet, yet we're still visually close enough to see the tiny Namek islands and trees. There's a similar curvature in the manga as well, and the islands and hills are still plainly visible. So clearly the curvature of a planet isn't always accurate when it comes to anime and manga. But let's say we still want to use it just to help us with our estimations. There's a far greater visible curvature of the planet in the scene where Madara uses planetary devastation than there was in the scene from Yu Yu Hakusho. And not only do we just have the curvature to go off of, but the visuals and maps given to us indicate that the meteors actually cover an entire country. Sasuke was able to easily chop up these meteors into pieces, and just the shards were dwarfing the mountain ranges below. The platform that Yusuke and Yomi were fighting on had a mountain on it, and it actually took up a good chunk of it. As you can clearly see based off the visuals shown, just the shards of the meteors that Sasuke cut up are many times bigger than the platform Yusuke and Yomi were on. Heck, they even straight up showed a feat from Sasuke where the blast was so big it was visible from space. And they even pointed out the curvature of the planet, and how big it should be when compared to the planet as a whole. It even has a blast going straight up into space off screen. How the hell did they calculate this feat as being weaker than Yusuke's, which is smaller and less destructive in every single aspect? I will point out that feat from Sasuke is from a video game, and not actually canon, but they're the ones who brought it up and they still somehow managed to find a way to make it weaker than Yusuke's feat. I would also like to point out that the feat from Yusuke and Yomi is anime only and wasn't in the manga, if that matters to you. My only problem isn't the height they calculated the beam to be though. Even if it was as tall as they said, there's no proof it was anywhere near as destructive as they made it out to be. There's actually evidence against it. First off, the beam didn't actually destroy anything. It was just a big blue light in the sky that made some clouds disappear. It didn't even destroy the platform they were standing on. And before you say, but the blast didn't go down! It went up! Yeah, it went up because it wasn't strong enough to go down. The blast was created from two warriors punching each other in a direction parallel to the ground, which means the blast should go just as much down as it does up. And the beginning of the explosion even shows this, with it being roughly the shape of a ball until it finally goes up because it's being blocked from going down due to the platform under them. So if the impact can't even destroy the platform that's right under them, there's no way it's destroying the meteor Sasuke cut up that had fragments bigger than the entire platform. And there definitely isn't enough evidence to suggest that it has more energy than the attack Toneri used to cut the moon in half, which is what they claimed. Now instead of going off of calculations by guys who don't actually know what they're talking about and have no authority over the series they're talking about, use your own senses and reasoning to tell me which explosion seems more impressive to you. This one? Or this one?
もう知れ知ってくれ
I, for one, think the second one created by Naruto and Sasuke is far more impressive. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. At least I'm not telling you some numbers I made up based off of faulty reasoning and giving you false information. One thing they did get right is that Sasuke is faster than Hiei, since he scales to Naruto who dodged Madara's lightspeed attack. And since Sasuke should be much more powerful, as I have shown with visual evidence rather than fan calculations, Sasuke should have an easy win here. Even if Sasuke was weaker than Hiei, he should still be able to win, because he was fast enough to blitz Madara and cut him in half. An even weaker version of Madara was so durable he wasn't even cut in half by Naruto's Lava Rasen Shuriken, which chopped the entire God Tree in half with just the shockwave. And that tree dwarfed mountain ranges. And would you look at that, the planet curvature is even more than the scene from Yu Yu Hakusho. Hiei hasn't shown cutting durability anywhere close to this level, and since Sasuke's faster, and has the ability to teleport, he will easily land this move and chop Hiei in half. Even if Hiei could dodge, Sasuke can just teleport his sword inside of him like he did to Madara. In conclusion, Sasuke is more powerful based off of visuals, faster due to scaling to Naruto, and has the ability to cut Hiei in half. If he goes into his perfect Susanoo, Hiei won't even be strong enough to break him out of it, considering his Susanoo is strong enough to tank this explosion. There's really no way I see Hiei coming out on top in this battle. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it enlightening. If you disagree with anything I said, or think I'm just some crazy weeaboo who doesn't know what he's talking about, be sure to let me know in the comment section. Now, it's time for me to start my plan and get rid of the previous YouTube power scalers and rebuild with people who know what they're actually talking about. A YouTube without wank. I will reform this versus battle world. What I'm talking about is revolution.